Hello? Okay, yeah, but I've got to go on. I'm on in like 1 minute, okay? Yeah? He's done what? Oh, God, not again. Just thumb it down and I'll fix it when I get home, okay? I've got to go. I'm literally going on stage right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the learner parent, Mr. Sam Avery! Thank you so much. That was such a lovely welcome. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone! It's great that you're here. I'm so pleased everyone's come out to watch this show. This show is called Toddlergeddon, and I wrote this show in the eye of the storm of Toddlergeddon. If you've never seen me before, or you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. My name's Sam, I'm 41, and I've got twin boys, Ben and Zach. They are 4 years old, they are everything to me. They are the earth, the moon, and the stars to me. And what I want to say to them most days is, I love you more than I thought it was possible to love another human being, but you just need to fuck off for a little bit. Just a little bit, alright, yeah, please, just a little bit. Definitely come back, I want you to come back, but in order to come back, first of all, you need to fuck off, don't you? Yeah. Just so I can sit on the toilet with the lid down, looking at the floor, going, oh my God, it's 3 PM, I've been up since 6 and I've achieved less than nothing! Because I love having kids, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's great, but the thing is, it is a little bit like having a crack addiction, because you age quicker, you're always tired, and it's impossible to get clean, isn't it? It's just... And people say to me sometimes, why are you always moaning? Why are you focusing on the negative? And I'll tell you why. Because it's funnier, isn't it? If I came out here tonight and told you about all the good days I have, of which there are many, it'd be a little bit boring, wouldn't it? If I came out and said, oh guys, like, let me start by telling you, last summer, I went to the beach with my boys, we made sandcastles, and as the sun was setting, we walked back to the car, eating ice creams together. One of my boys, unprompted, looked me in the eye and told me that he loved me. And I've never felt at one with the universe like I did that day. We'll be back in the second half in a bit. See you later. Like, boo! Tell us about when he pissed in your eye. Okay, I will. Yeah. Strap in for that story. The negative is just a bit more interesting, isn't it? That's a sad fact. You know, if you've got two friends, both been on holiday, one's at the holiday of a lifetime, one's at the holiday from hell, who do you want to get stuck next to at a party? It's not your mate, is it, who's just got back from 4 glorious weeks in Nepal, the flight was on time, the food was to die for, the hotel, sublime. Why are we mates? I've no idea. All your stories end like this. Oh, where's Barry? I like Barry. How was your holiday, mate? Oh, friggin' hell. I don't want to talk about it. Do you mind? I do mind, actually, because this sounds brilliant. Tell me in graphic detail what happened. The plane crashed in the water. We swam to the shore. We got there. The hotel hadn't even been built. We had to live in a ditch for 2 days. And on the 4th day, my nana sucked off a donkey. What? You went to Scarborough? What happened, Barry, in Scarborough? Tell me what happened in Scarborough. So forgive me if I focus on the negative, but it doesn't mean I'm not happy. I'm the happiest I've ever been. Like, genuinely, I've got 2 beautiful, amazing kids at home. Happiest I've ever been. I'm the happiest I've ever been. Happiest I've ever been. Happiest I've ever been. Keep saying it. I'm the happiest. But I am, genuinely. Like, joking aside, I'm the happiest I've ever been. But that joy that's deep within me, sometimes it gets lost, doesn't it? You can't find it. You're like, is it in my other pants? Is it down the back of the sofa? It's definitely in there somewhere, but the fatigue and the anxiety and the dread and just the sheer tiredness is just, most days all I'm trying to do is get through to bedtime. That's all. Their bedtime. Yeah, that's the finishing line, isn't it? Their bedtime. Get them to bedtime so I can fit my entire life between their bedtime and my bedtime, which tonight's going to be about 36 minutes because I'm knackered. Put them to bed, open the wine, put a film on *2, put a wash on, tidy the kitchen, look in the mirror. Is that my granddad? Oh no, it's my face. I'm aging at an alarming rate. Because that's, you know, that's what you're trying to do, because you're just getting through all these moments. And the reason I called this show Toddlergeddon is because I think toddlers of all age groups have this innate ability to take a beautiful, amazing, happy moment and just do something small that completely depraves it and puts you in this weird position you don't know how you got there. So I'll give you 2 examples when that happened. One was I was walking through town with one of my boys. He was 3 years old. We were having a dad and lad day round town, walking around holding hands on the razzle dazzle, and we just go to Tesco. It wasn't exciting, but it was a great day because strangers kept coming over and going, oh, is he yours? I'm like, yes, he's mine. I was dead proud. And then randomly in a busy street, he just starts shouting, help. Which is not something you want someone to be shouting, is it? Whose hand you're holding tightly, you know, especially a small child. So I just very calmly said to him, stop saying that, which, if you kidnap someone, is exactly what you would say, isn't it? Stop saying that, you're making things worse for yourself. So, and then he started saying it quite loud, help, help, and people are looking and staring and thinking, what the fuck's going on? And I just panicked and picked him up and started running, and that was a mistake, And I regret putting him in the boot, but I was frightened, you know, what do you do? And the other occasion was, I think they were about 3.5, and they just learned how to do stand-up wheeze. Now that's a big deal, isn't it? Learning how to do stand-up wheeze, especially if you're a girl. That's a big deal. Oh, future party trick, isn't it? So I'm having a wee, and my lad wants to come and have a wee next to me to demonstrate his newfound skills to his dad. So I'm just in the bathroom, and he comes and stands next to me, and it takes all his effort just to pull his tracksuit bottoms down to the bottom, and then get on the balls of his feet just to get to the right height, and his little nuts are resting on the rim. And he just pokes his willy over the top and starts weeing. And he looks up at me and he smiles, and I smile back at him, and I just thought, I've never wanted anything else from life other than this moment. This is the most amazing moment in my entire life. Me and my son sharing a wee together. It's just, I kind of wish my dad was that side, you know, just get me granddad there, get it on Instagram, think of the likes, think of the likes. Oh. Just having this wee, and the world makes sense, it's perfect, and I noticed there's a little bit of dry poo on the inside of the rim. So, you know, subconsciously as a man, I just moved the jet. So we move the poo, because that's what we do in it, fellas. We get stuff done. That's what we do. Yeah. We see a problem, we find a solution. That's what we do. So I was struggling with this stain because it was quite stubborn. It had been there longer than it should have been. Please don't judge me. You know what it's like. We're all busy. But my son sees I'm struggling, and like the end of Ghostbusters, father and son together, we cross the stream, we remove the poo together. I've never been so proud of anyone in my entire life! And it suddenly in that moment clicked. Judy Murray used to get on my nerves, but at least their son was winning Wimbledon when she was hollering and screaming. My son is pissing shit off a toilet, and I have lost it big time. There's tears in my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And he sees how emotional I am, and it throws him, because he looks up and he's never seen me like that before, and he just goes, whoa, what's up with you? Because he's not looking where he's weeing, he stops weeing in the toilet, and he starts weeing on my slipper. So I took evasive action, I stepped to the left, and like the time warp, he jumped to the right. And long story short, I pissed on the back of his head, so... It's a terrible end to what should have been a wonderful family moment, you know. So yeah. So Toddlergeddon, I mean, you know, my boys are 4 now, they're not toddlers anymore, but this show is written in the eye of the storm. You know, that mad age between 2 and 4 where just everything changes. Because it's very different from the baby phase, isn't it? The baby phase has got its own challenges and its own things going on, but the baby phase, like all I remember from the baby phase is about 3 weeks in, this voice started talking to me during the most challenging moments. Just kept coming to me, really faintly at first, and then louder. He used to just say to me, you'll miss this one day. I was like, whose voice is that? I'm you from the future. Trust me, you'll miss this one day. And it was really hard to believe that voice when you're in the middle of just this chaotic time where you don't get any sleep, because the only currency that matters between you and your partner at that point is sleep. That's all you're dealing with, and it's really important that your partner understands that you are getting a little bit less than them. They need to know this information. It's very important. But you can't just say it like that. You've got to play these little games, haven't you? Like, how many times did you get up with them last night? No, you go first. How come? Because I want to add 1. That's why. My wife said to me once, it's all right for you. You went to work, you lazy bastard. You went to work, you lazy bastard. What kind of a sentence is that? Just trying to pay the bills here, love. I used to do that thing some days though. I'd wake up and I'd just be like, oh, that was a good night last night, wasn't it, babe? And my wife would go, yeah, apart from the 11 fucking times I got up. I wasn't talking about that, I was talking about the weather. I had rain, and that's good for crops. So I got up 12 times, you bitch. Shut up. You know, because you get like so tired, you get crappy with each other, but you haven't got the energy to have an argument, have you? So you just have this like, you just pass all this negative energy onto your partner via the child, which hopefully doesn't have a long-term effect on the baby. Some of the things I used to say, oh, why are you crying, son? Why are you crying? Is it because mummy keeps loading the dishwasher wrong? Is that why? Yeah. Grease everywhere, isn't there, son? It's ridiculous. Well, maybe mummy would have done that if daddy would have done the knife feed like he said he was going to do, the lazy fat bastard. Well, maybe Daddy would have done that if Mummy wouldn't have been snoring like a donkey again. Well, if Daddy thinks that was bad, wait till he feels my hair straighteners on his bollocks later on, hey? And then it all changes, doesn't it? Because your kids become toddlers and everything just evolves and their abilities change. Your role as a parent changes massively. Babies don't ask for much, do they? Babies, really. Babies are just like, just keep me alive. That's all. Just keep me alive. Just keep me alive till midnight. We'll try again tomorrow, shall we? That's all I'm asking. If I get angry, maybe put a boob in my mouth. But other than that, I'm buzzing. Just, And you can trust the baby, can't you? You can trust the baby. You put a baby down, you leave the room, you come back, the baby is exactly where you put it. It hasn't put your bank card in the fridge. It hasn't given you keys to the next door's cat. It's just sat there and just not done anything. And then toddlers, different set of rules. And we are in the eye of the storm. The eye of the storm. And somehow, me and my wife managed to find some much needed relaxation time together. We were sitting outside. New Look, eating a Boots meal deal. It was, listening to the bin lorry reverse, it was bliss. It was 6 minutes I'll never forget, and holding hands. And this kid went past eating an ice cream, and my wife said, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? I said, don't fancy an ice cream. And she said, I wasn't talking about the ice cream. And I knew exactly what she meant. But this was a mega, earthquake in my mind, because we talked about this, and we always wanted 2 kids. We were lucky enough to have 2 at the same time. We'd talked about it since. We were done, we were retired, that was it. Now she's talking about 1 more, and I couldn't believe it. These weird emotions in my stomach started churning around and working their way up my spine, and I could feel this massive smile just appearing on my face. So I grabbed her hand, I looked her in the eye, and I just said, not on your fucking Nelly. No chance. Do you know what she said? She said, go on. Like, that's not how you convince someone to have another kid, is it? Like, if you're trying to lend a tenner, go on, it's quite a good thing to say, innit? But like, go on, or like, it's a bit more to it than that. A bit more complex. She said, why not? I said, I'll tell you why, right? The main reason is I've yet to meet a parent with older kids that has given me any hope that any of this gets any easier. They don't do the now, it gets worse. Gets worse. You think it's shit, now it's going to get shitter for you. A lot shitter. Oh my God, how old are yours now? 51 and 53. It's bollocks. Just moved back home again, it's shit. And I'm a lot older now than I was when we conceived. I feel older. When I was... before we had kids, I had energy, I had ambition, I was fit, I had goals, and I haven't got any of those things now because I've got kids. And you can't have any of those. And I think my reproductive system has probably aged just as badly as I have. If I had to go back to my little swimmers now and go, lads, I know you thought you were done, but she wants 1 more, they'd be like, me and Dave have just booked a saga cruise. Lads, sorry, she wants 1 more. Come on, get your coats back on. Sorry, let's give this dickhead triplets this time. Let's ruin it. Come on, before we start, let's just have a brief moment of silence for all our brave comrades who died last week inside that sock. Let's just do that. I'll never forget, yeah. And I'm only capable of dad sex now. And that's not good sex, is it? Dad sex. Like, dad is just a modern day euphemism for crap, isn't it? Like, dad bod, dad jokes, dad dancing. None of this is good. It's all terrible stuff, isn't it? If I said to my wife, do you fancy a little bit of dad sex? She'd be like, I'm going to watch the end of Songs of Praise, to be honest. Don't start without me if you want, but I can't promise I'll be there anytime soon. So then my wife comes back with this one. Guess what she said? She says this. She says, go on. It'll be great for you. Think of all the material that you'll get. That's no reason to create human life, is it? Get molested by a horse would give me loads of material, wouldn't it? But I'm not going to lube myself up and stand by the Grand National, just in case, you know what I mean? I hope this is funny one day. What shall I call this blog, fellas? Any ideas? Anyway, yeah, so my biggest fear is this, though. This is my biggest fear. And is there any other parents with multiples in? Yes, what have you got? You got twins, how old are they? 4. Snap. Yeah, which is the noise my brain makes every morning. You might have been sent this on social media so many times, like I was. If you haven't seen it, check this out. It's a headline with a picture underneath. The headline reads this, and it chilled my blood. Mother of twins gives birth to quads. Do you hear that noise then? That was my bollocks shrivelling up. And the picture underneath is even funnier. The picture of the happy scene is incredible because you've got all the hospital staff, they're all buzzing. They've done a great job. You've got the twins who are about 6, they're smiling. You got the mum holding 2 of the quads, she's smiling. You got the dad holding the other 2 quads. His mouth is making a smile, but his eyes are saying, kill me. Please help me. And apparently they wanted one more, went for one more, quads. Ah! Imagine. Like, I played blackjack, you know, when you're on like 17, you think, I'm going to twist, am I going to 1 or a 2? 57? Jesus Christ. So, legitimate fears that I had. And like I say, we were just approaching that mad phase when everything's changing and all the rules are changing, the babies are starting to move, you know, and all of a sudden your role as a parent becomes a lot more intense because with a baby, all you have to do is change them, feed them, get them to sleep, keep them warm. That's it. With a toddler, you've got to start thinking about right and wrong. Teach them about the world. What is right and wrong? There's no black and white. It's like about context and nuance and, you know, how do you impart that onto a 2 or a 3-year-old who just wants to bite your ankles? They're not bothered, are they? And it's a minefield. Like, how do you know you've done a good job with a toddler? You don't. You don't know if you've done a good job with your kids until they're about 35 and they haven't moved back home again. Then you think, oh, I've probably done all right there. So I thought, this is a minefield. I'm gonna put 2 benchmarks down and I'm gonna use these to decide if I'm doing a good job. So one of them was, my kids were going to be polite. They were going to have manners, right? That's all I wanted, and they were going to be independent. They were the 2 things, right? Manners are really important to me. All I wanted was a please, a thank you, and if there's a bodily function, pardon me. That's all. That's not much to ask for, is it? You know, there's enough practice in our house for them to get the right words after it. One of them burped, a big, loud, horrible, smelly one. I said, what do you say? He said, it was my brother. Fair play, I was quite proud of him in that moment, you know. And then independence. You want your kids to be independent because you're trying to teach them new skills about the world and how to do things for themselves. You want them to be independent. It's really important. But also, you want to get out the fucking house, don't you? Like, our house could be on fire. And I'd be like, come on, boys, the house on fire. Get your, how do you zip? How do you know? You want to do it yourself, okay? You sure? Can I help? No? Okay, the flames are coming. Ah, we're all dead now, you happy? So it's hard. Because, you know, you're trying to teach them these skills about all these things that they need to learn to be a better person and interact with society, but they're going through this mad turmoil in the mind, you know, the emotions are churning around, and I've never seen an angrier age group than a 3-year-old. Like, a 3-year-old is like Joe Pesci on Goodfellas every day. Just at any moment, they could just beat someone to death with a phone. They just have, like, they just go from 0 to 100 like that, don't they? You know, just, both of my lads flipped at me, because apparently I entered the room incorrectly, which I didn't know was a thing. How do you enter a room incorrectly? Unless you're juggling pork chops into a mosque. That is incorrect. That is definitely incorrect. And I wouldn't do that. And even if I did, I'd take my shoes off. You know what I mean? That's definitely incorrect. Our kids needed some new shoes recently, but Clark's is expensive, innit? So we just found the nearest bouncy castle. Not that one. Trainers, go, 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 go! So how do you teach them about the world? What skills do you try and teach a toddler? Well, I suppose you're trying to teach them how to have a moral compass, you know? You're trying to teach them how to talk. That's a big undertaking, isn't it? To talk. Twin speech is a little bit delayed, apparently, because there's less eye contact and less one-on-one time. So our kids, you know, some of the phonetics are a little bit behind. One of our lads' favourite animal is a shark, but he can't pronounce shark, so he pronounces it shart. It's a very different thing, isn't it? Although just as scary if you're swimming. Baby shark, grandma shark. Oh, Mum, come on, Jesus. Get that woman an Uber. And then, of course, you want your kids to speak. You really want them to speak, but when they start to speak, you just want them to shut the fuck up. I would never say it, but it's legal to think it. Just shut up, just please shut up, just stop following me. Incessant questions, just Google it, will you, Jesus? So many questions, and then they learn to talk, and then they start talking in situations where they shouldn't be talking. I'm reading bedtime story. It's a beautiful moment. I've got the story. We're cuddled up on the bed, the end of a lovely day, and one of my lads just jumps up and starts saying, "My willy is massive." What? My willy is massive. I don't want to split hairs, but it really isn't, you know. You're 3 and you're my son, there's literally no hope for you. My willy is massive. Look, I'm trying to read the Gruffalo here and you're ruining the mood. My willy is massive. From downstairs, my wife shouted, "Oh, he's just like his daddy." I said, "Oh, nice one, babe." She said, "You're a friggin' liar." I walked into that one. Fair play. Fair play. You know, teach them to walk. The thing is, all these skills, talking, walking, you're trying to teach them all these things about the world, but all a toddler cares about is not the skills you can teach them, but all they want to know is, they want to check if you as the parent has got the same skill set that they've got. Daddy, 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 can you do this? What? Daddy, daddy, can you do this? sure I can. Yeah. I just choose not to, you know. Because it's crap, innit? It's... Can you do this, son? Look at this, look at this. Sleep through the night for once, please. So I can remember that I love you, because right now it's difficult. And then you start putting bodies down because they become mobile. That's a big change, isn't it? From a baby to a toddler. Babies stay where they are. Toddlers want to go everywhere. So you've got to start putting sections down. And I'll just get one baby gate, just one. You don't need more than one. We'll put one there, and that'll be fine. Oh no, we'll get another one. We'll put it there. And 3 for 2 offer. Let's put one there, there. We're boxed in now. Let's put one at the top of the stairs for safety. Even though every time we go down the stairs, we'll try and vault over it and nearly fall to our grisly death to be eaten by next door's cats. So. And then, like, the time goes so quickly, then you're moving the bodies away, aren't you? Which is mad, because it feels like 5 minutes since you put them down, but then you're taking them away again. And all of a sudden, you take the baby gates away, you take the sides of the cots away, you take the dummies away, and that is when the darkest hour in my entire life occurred. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a moment's silence for the death of nap time? Oh, God, I'm still getting over it. Has anyone got toddlers who still nap?
Yes.
Yeah? Get the fuck out of my show. You're not welcome. How old are they? 3. And how long did he sleep for? 2. Can you feel the visceral hatred towards you right now? Hearing how much someone else's kid sleeps is like hearing how much someone earns. It's only nice if it's less than you, isn't it? More than you, like, shut up. I'm pleased for you. I think it stops just after the age they're at now. No, it doesn't. I don't know. No, ours, right, get onto this. Ours used to sleep for 2.5 hours every single day. Every single day, and I would never miss a nap time. Didn't miss a single one. Season ticket holder. Whatever I was doing, I would get home for nap time. Having lunch with an old friend. Sorry, mate, I've got to go. You haven't had your food yet, I know, but it's nap time! Nap time's my time! I'm going to get my life back on track today. I'm going to clean my house. I'm going to sort the kitchen out. I'm going to join the Open University today. That's what I'll do. I'm going to start an internet business. Oh, Loose Women's on. I'll just eat some biscuits. Watch that. Fall asleep on the sofa. Wake up feeling inadequate, which is not good, but a frigging improvement on how I felt this morning, because nap time, that golden time in the middle of the day, just gets you back on track, doesn't it? And they just took it away. It was the dummies. That was the deal breaker. The dummies. We took them away, and they just went. They thought it was an April's Fool's. They were like, "You're taking the dummies away." The dummies, really. We've had them since day one, right? You're taking the dummies away. See nap time. Nap time's dead. You shot nap time in the head. He's dead. Okay? How'd you like that? I was like, no. I said to my wife, "Give them the dummies back. Give them whatever they want." We had to stand firm, We didn't give them the dummies back, and we used to try and recreate nap time then. So we're like, you take that twin, I take this twin. We read that story, then that story. We leave the curtains a little bit open. We shut the door, then we open it after 5 minutes, and none of it worked. They actually said to us one day, "We don't nap anymore." That's what they said. They pronounced that like a pair of Shakespearean actors. "We do not nap anymore, motherfucker." Oh. Please, son, I've joined the Open University. I need to get me credits, please. Because if nap time's gone, all your sleep has to take place in the evening, which is difficult because you've taken the baby gates away. So your toddler can now go in any room, wherever they want. It's not your house anymore. No, it's their house. You are lucky they allow you to lodge there. That's all. Me and my wife had a conversation. We decided not to do co-sleeping. That was a decision we made. If you do that, I'm not judging you. Keep doing it if it works for you. But we chose not to do it. But our kids went, "No, we're going to co-sleep with you." Yeah. We're very modern children. We're going to co-sleep the living shit out of you every single night. You'll be taking one of us back, and the other one will be running in. You'll be taking him back. It's like having slugs in your kitchen. Where's the salt? I need to kill these fuckers. Jesus. I want to get those spikes on the floor like they have in car parks, to stop them coming in. Grease paint, just snipers on the wardrobe. Move away from the door. Get back to your own room. You can ignore a baby, can't you? You can ignore a baby for 10, 15 seconds while you get your bearings. If you're asleep and they wake you up, you kind of go, "Oh, I can hear someone in our house. Oh, it's a baby. Oh, it's my baby. I've got kids, haven't I? Oh, God, yeah. Go and sort the baby out." You can't ignore a toddler. A toddler will track you down. Whatever you're doing, they'll find you very quickly. I was in the house once. I thought I was on my own. I thought, I'm going to have a piece of cheese. There's no one here. I opened the fridge, got a piece of cheese, put it in my mouth. Just as it hit my lips, my son appeared there and went, "Cheese!" Being on The Shining, it was terrifying. So a toddler will find you. I was asleep once, And my lad was on the landing, and he just starts going, daddy, 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 daddy. And I'm just thinking, I just need 4 more seconds just to get my bearings. Just please. And he's on the landing, he goes, daddy, daddy, I'm doing a poo. So I jumped up. Got on the landing, he went, I'm not really. I was like, you little fucker! I'm so proud of you right now, the way you manipulated me just then. You're going to be the apprentice one day, my son. You know those dreams you'll have where it's just like a blissful, desert island. Oh, I can feel the sun baking down on my cheeks, and I can hear the waves lapping against the shore, and I can feel soft sand between my toes. Oh, this is bliss. But I'm vaguely aware of a human head about there. As I can hear him breathing. Daddy, oh! Daddy, I've wet the bed. So have I, son. So have I. It's not a competition. We're all sleeping in piss tonight. Don't worry about it. Please go back to your own room. Can I stay with you? No, because your brother's there and your mother's there. I'll tell you what, you stay here and I'll go to your bed. But I'll come with you, so will I, when now there's 3 of us in a single toddler bed. And my wife's got the entire double bed to herself. And in that moment, I want to divorce the bitch, you do. No one's happy, when you're on the bed together. No one's happy. No one's like, it's not like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibe when everyone's just, we're having a lovely time, swapping stories. It's just a violent affair, like a Royal Rumble under a duvet. People getting kicked, punched. You got your buttocks hanging off the bed, it's gone numb, like, getting elbowed in the bollocks. My wife's getting fanny chopped, senseless. I was doing the chopping, they interrupted it, that's the problem. I can't even do that to my wife anymore. What's the world coming to? And then, morning comes, doesn't it? Morning comes. Every bastard day. Always too soon, isn't it? Just... Morning in our house is celebrated by me kids like some ancient pagan ritual. Everybody, have you heard the news? 'Tis morning once again! What should we do today? We could do whatever we please. We could break anything in this house today. We could watch every single episode of Peppa Pig in chronological order. For it is morning once more. And I come out my room like a smackhead, just, oh God, why you? It's Wednesday morning. Why are you so happy? And then I try and convince them it's not morning. Like, I'm like a flat earther. I've got no evidence, but I'm just like, it's not morning. No, you're mistaken. It's actually last night. It's 2003. You haven't been born yet, so please go back to bed for 7 minutes, please. And then one of my lads comes back at me like a lawyer in a court of law delivering a closing statement. He's like, well, I think, Daddy, if you look outside, you can see that the sun is beginning to rise. I can hear bird song, so no further questions, Your Honour. It's clearly morning. Let's go and watch Paw Patrol for 7 hours, please. Let's go downstairs. The ways they find to wake you up is, you've got to take your hat off. The creativity is unreal, isn't it? Some of the, I used to get a new mobile phone when mobile phones were quite new. Every couple of years I got a new one. And one of the first things I used to do was find the alarm section and say to me mate, oh, imagine waking up to this and try and find the worst one. Like, oh, imagine waking up to that. Woo! Oh, that'd be terrible, wouldn't it? I would rather wake up to than all finished. I'm going to go wipe my ass. I'm going to start my day wiping someone else's shitty buttocks. Oh, God. Bend over, son, say, let's get going. But all of that was better than the worst time, which was having a 3-year-old penis shoved in my ear. Whose is that? What a stupid question. It's not mine, it's not my wife's, and it's not the neighbour's because he's black. So, clearly one of the kids. Look, Daddy, my willy is massive. Look, son, we've been through this. Please, just get it out my ear. You mean you're trying to teach your kids right from wrong? That's one of the few occasions I've gone, that's wrong. You don't put your willy in people's ear, please. That's disgusting. And even if you've got consent, wait till they're awake, for God's sake. And if you ever do that, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want anything to do with this. It's weird. Don't do it to me again, please. Or your mother. I was horrified. So was my wife, which surprised me, because I thought, by now, after being married to me for so long, she'd be used to that kind of behaviour. Unfortunately, that's one of the few ways a man can initiate sex. When we're tired in our 40s with little kids running around, it's just, we don't have many options, do we? We're always ready for sex, but ladies, you need to start it We're like a TV on standby. We're like, just the red light's on, press a couple of buttons and it'll be all yours. But like, because the ball's in your court, you can do what you want. You can put your finger between your lips or, you know, just buy some sexy lingerie from Ann Summers. You don't even need to put it on. Just put the bag on the table and be like, oh, we're going to have sex soon, I can feel it. This calendar year it's happening, yeah! Mum, guess what's happening, Mum? So yeah, it's just, you know, what right and wrong. What are those parameters? That one was clear. The other one that was very clear was when a similar situation when I said to him, do not put your willy in that bagel. That's not a sentence I ever thought I'd say out loud. We were at home, we went in Greg's just for clarity, you know. And he stood there with his willy in the bagel and he looked at me and he said, why? And I'll be honest, I had no answer for him. I was like, don't know, son, you're just not supposed to put your willy in bagels. People out there, they get scared of this kind of behaviour and you'll friend you on Facebook and stuff like that, but I know what you mean. It feels safe, doesn't it? It feels like home. It feels the size, the shape, the temperature. It's strangely comforting, but people don't like it, so take your willy at the bagel. He said, have you got a baguette? He said, that's optimistic, isn't it, really? I'll get you a brioche, but we're not that middle class, so just... Let's take your willy out the bagel and put that bagel back in the cupboard because Mummy's going to want a breakfast soon, so let's just... Move away from the bagel, son, come on. The other time was very clear I was in the right was when he tried to push my wife down the stairs, which, to be fair to him, he did in a very playful manner. You know, he was smiling, singing a song. But technically, it was still attempted manslaughter, wasn't it? I had to shout at him. People say you should never shout at your kids. What if they're trying to murder your wife? I think you need to raise your voice a little bit, don't you? That's the time to do it. You know, I said, no, son, no! Not the hands, kick the legs, remove the base, you'll topple right down. Get that money together. No, I never said that. I said no. I said, no, you don't push your mummy down the stairs, which is an inherently ridiculous sentence. His response, do you know what he said? He said, oh, sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know! Sorry, I didn't know. I thought, I didn't know you're not supposed to kill your own mother. I thought, I've been watching Game of Thrones and they're all at it, so I just thought I was going to kill her, shag her and eat her, but if you say that's wrong, I won't do it. I said, but he was laughing. I said, it's not funny, I'm not laughing. And he kept laughing, so then my wife said, no, I'm not laughing. And then the other twin said, and I'm not laughing, of course, now we're all fucking laughing at it. So. Imagine if you knew 90% of the times your parents were telling you off when you were little, behind their hands, they were going... Because, like, it completely takes away any, like, authority that you've got. Because how do you make sure not only right and wrong is being put in place, but, like, the proper punishments are put in place? Because I don't know what to do, you know? Like, I would never hit my kids, because that, you know, that's not in me. I'm not saying that for approval. I'm just saying it's illegal to hit your kids, but it's still legal in Scotland, and it is tempting just to take a little day trip. And it's sometimes just book a train ticket, you know, just in case something happens. You know, just, come on, boys, get your stuff. No, you won't need your teddies. Bring that Savlon. Come on. Look, kids, Gretna Green, look. Right, we're going home now. Let's tell everyone about our trip. So what we do is we use the naughty step, which is... who uses the naughty step? Yeah, right. So, some of you sound like you're on it now. I spoke to a guy and I said, like, he said it doesn't work for him. And I said, well, tell me, like, talk me through the process. He said, well, I put my son on it, who's 3, and he enjoys the naughty step. He likes being on it. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. He sits there laughing on his iPad, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm like, whoa, go back a little bit. I think if he's bidding on eBay, that iPad's got to go, hasn't it? Like, I'm not super nanny, but... No, naughty steps are funny because one of our kids is totally, like, on board and it works for him. The other one, he just doesn't care. He knows it's just a step. Like, it's only as powerful as the child allows it to be, and he doesn't allow it to be powerful in the slightest. I put him on the naughty step. 35 seconds later, he comes driving through the living room on his bike. I said, you're supposed to be on the naughty step? He said, I know I am. So I started chasing him like a Benny Hill sketch. He jumped off the bike, and I went right, he went left. I went left, he went right. I grabbed his sock, but he wriggled free. But as he jumped, he got stuck in the gap between the sofa and the wall. And he said, Daddy, help me. I said, no, you are now in the naughty crack, okay? It's illegal to hit your kids, but it's not illegal to move the sofa an inch closer. And I started laughing at him because he wasn't hurt, but he was stuck and it was dead funny. He went, no, Daddy, it's not funny. I said, trust me, this is hilarious, honestly. The people of Hedge End will back me up on this one day, honestly. So yeah, I suppose what I've read is that you're not supposed to tell your kids what to do or tell them how to speak. You're supposed to model behaviour and model speech, which makes total sense, doesn't it? But it's, fine in theory, but sometimes it's difficult to be a role model all the time. I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I'll have this conversation quite a lot. No, you can't have a biscuit. No, of course not. Why? Because it's 8:30 in the morning. No one has biscuits at 8:30 in the morning. Then I grab 3 biscuits, find the nearest doorway and just, Daddy's back, do you want to play a game? Because food's a terrible thing, and when you're tired and weak-willed, it's really difficult to eat healthily. My problem is, on the way to bed every night, I just go via the kitchen, which isn't on the way, and I get into the kitchen, and my problem when I'm tired is all the food in my kitchen starts talking to me. But none of the healthy food has got any charisma. So I'll open the fridge, there'll be a broccoli there going, if you eat me now, you'll receive 27 of the most vital nutrients for your metabolism. It will be slowly released over the next 48 to 64 hours. Next to it there's a cheesecake. Hello, my friend. I know you want to be healthy, but listen to me. Don't listen to him. Listen, I could do the fandango across your taste buds, my friend. Come closer, I've heard a rumour. If you don't use a plate and you leave the fridge door open, the calories don't even count. So I'm on my way to a gig, and it's like, I haven't had any tea. And I hasn't grabbed my wallet, my phone. There's a plate of food that the kids have left. I think, I'm having this, bangers and mash. Result, start eating it. As I finish the plate, my wife says to me, he spat most of that out, I said, why didn't you say something? You were in the room the whole time. She said, it was really funny to watch you eating. I said, oh, it was funny, was it? How was your bagel this morning, love? Was that nice? Yeah. My wife's still on at me. Just one more, baby, give it to me. And I said, look, can we discuss this another time? I don't want to turn it off completely, but I don't think it's the right time. She said, it's the perfect time. The boys are going to be 4 soon, then they'll be starting school. It's the perfect time to start again. The phrase start again sounds quite negative, doesn't it? Like, we're making progress, let's just go back to the beginning. And we're back. Like we're playing snakes and ladders, baby wipes and shit everywhere again. It just felt a bit strange because she was trying to appeal to all these different sides of me to make me sort of get on board, and none of it was working. So then she went for the bullseye. She tried to appeal to my carnal nature, which as a man is very difficult to resist, isn't it? She said, do you remember how big my boobs got last time I was pregnant? I said, well, you've got me here now, love, because I do actually. Yeah, they were perfect, they were plump, they were like a pair of pumpkins waiting to be plucked. But I also remember, love, you wouldn't let me anywhere fucking near them, so... What's the point? It was a torture. It was like a kid waiting for Christmas Day, looking at me present, going, they'll be mine soon. 3 more sleeps, 2 more sleeps, 1 more sleep. Christmas Day came, they got unwrapped and given to someone else. Now, so then she said, well, think of all the sex we'd have to try and conceive. We'd have to have loads of sex. I said, yeah, we would, but none of it will be good, will it? None of it will be hot, naughty, nasty sex, will it? It'll be a kind of sex that nobody is searching for on porn websites, won't it? A couple trying to conceive for the second time while the kids are asleep next door quietly. Ooh. Look how slow they're doing it. Ooh. Oh, he's just shushed her. Ooh. This is the best bit, when he gets off, checks the door shut, and then gets back on again. Ooh. It's not the same, is it? Not the same. Different moves. You can't do the moves you've perfected over years. None of this, none of this. It's like a bomb going off. You ever tried to quiet spank someone? It's like trying to fix one of those old tellies. It's not the same. I heard some. Stop grinding. Stop it. Get over here. Next door's cat. Carry on. I'm just going to look at the door, okay? I'm going to look at the door. I'm just going to look at the door. No, because I need to explain to them if they come in that you're enjoying this and I'm not hurting you, okay? I'm not hurting you. Are you enjoying it? Can you tell your face, please? Because it doesn't like you know. Okay, I'm just going to look at the door, because if they come in, I'll explain what's going on, and then they'll have to have counselling. I'll have to pay for counselling. And I'm losing my erection because I'm thinking about my kids' counselling here. I said to my wife once, I'm not enjoying this. She said, neither am I. I said, why are you moaning? She said, that was the baby monitor. Because I love my wife, and it's not popular for a comedian to say this, but she's brilliant. Her name's Rachel. She's supportive. She's kind. She's a great mum. She puts me down. She's dead funny. People say don't be with someone that puts you down, but what if it's dead funny when they do? And what if you're being a knobhead and you need putting down, I said to her once, what's the most annoying thing I do? She said, you know when you wake up first thing in the morning? I said, yeah. She went, that. I was like, wow. That's brutal, isn't it? So I always want to, when she's got an idea, I always want to discuss it and like take it on board and have a dialogue. Even when she was pregnant, she was talking about filming the birth. Like she was really up for it. And I was like, well, people say, who's filming the birth? And that's not the question we should be asking. The question we need to ask is, who's watching it back? Like, who's looking at the telly going, there's nothing on tonight. Should we have another look at Margaret's flaps, shall we? Let's just finish your pizza and we'll go in. In fact, put this virtual reality headset on. Let's take a deep dive. Come on, kids, keep swimming. No, we never did that. In the end, we didn't film the birth. But what my wife doesn't know is I filmed the conception. So, she labelled it the prequel. So, we always have a conversation. We always talk. We have a really good relationship, actually. In fact, it's very good. It could be better, though. It could be better if we argued more, I think. Because we never argue. And, I just think the odd argument, you don't argue every day, but the odd argument, just like a little pressure valve, innit? Just release and everyone have an argument, you say sorry, you move back in. You break it off with a sister, everything's fine. She hasn't even got a sister, I don't know who that was. I think it was a brother with a wig on. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's over now, it's water under the bridge, so. So what we do is, instead of arguing, what we do is we have these passive-aggressive conversations that start off quite jovial and just slowly, surely, just degrade into something quite nasty. Like some days it feels like we're trying to play emotional battleships with each other, just trying to sink the other one's ship. Little comments. She said to me once, how many times in the whole time we've been together have you ever changed and washed the duvet sheet? Hit. It's 0, isn't it? Yeah, so that's a hit. How many times have you emptied the shed, love? She went, okay, fair enough, hit. She said, how many times have you steam cleaned the kitchen floor? I said, well, you said you enjoyed doing that. She said, well, I wasn't being serious, was I? I said, well, you sounded serious. She said, well, I can be very convincing when I need to be. I said, what the fuck's that supposed to mean? She said, it doesn't mean anything, but you'll find out. I was like, oh, you're threatening me now? What's going on? So I said, well, how many times have you put the bins out before bin day, love? She said, well, the neighbour does that. Now, I didn't know she knew that. I thought I was getting the credit. The neighbour's been doing it the whole time. He's 86, he's got a gammy leg, he's a bit racist, but he puts the bins out, he's just... hates foreigners, loves recycling. It's a weird mix, but, he's... So I panicked then, and I just said something I shouldn't have said. I said, well, how many times have you put more extra money into the joint account when we're a bit short? No, you don't say that, do you? So she just went all in. She went, well, how many times have you made me orgasm? I said, I don't know now, because you said you can be really convincing when you need to be, so... And at that point, I became very aware that the other people in the doctor's surgery were starting to listen. So, let's discuss this at home, babe. Because, as a man, I feel like I do my fair share of jobs in the house. I feel like I do 50%. But I probably don't. Because I think there's jobs out there that I am not aware exist. And it's my wife's fault, because she's a team player. Because she will do a job, finish the job, and then move on to the next job without telling anyone about that job. Whereas I won't. I will do the job, finish the job, then tell my wife I have done the job so that I can get credit for doing the job. Yeah. Sorry, love. Sorry to interrupt. I know you're cleaning the roof. Just to let you know, there was a mug there. And it's now there. Okay, so if I could get me Pride of Britain award now, please, because I'm going to have a nap. Is that all right? I don't know what your house is like, though. Ours is just always looks like it's in the middle of being burgled. There's just shit everywhere and washing and just, you don't know what room you're in sometimes. And you can start a million jobs, can't you? But you can never finish a job, because every job leads to another job, leads to another job, leads to another job. Before you know it, you're a million miles away from where you started. I had the kids all day. It was 4:30, and I had the brew since the morning. I said, boys, you watch the telly for a bit. I'm going to go and put the kettle on. So I put the kettle on, looking for a mug. There's no clean mugs. All the mugs are in the dishwasher. But the dishwasher's on. So I can't open the dishwasher, can I? Because that's illegal. So I'll go upstairs to our room. There'll be mugs in our room. Get a couple of mugs, get a couple of plates, come back downstairs. I'm cleaning one of them, cleaning the other one. The dishwasher beeps, so I open it up, and all the steam comes out, steams my glasses up. I turn back to the sink, knock one of the mugs on the floor, smashes everywhere. Then the washing machine beeps, so I think that needs to go in the tumble dryer. So I open the tumble dryer, but the tumble dryer is full. Looks like there's a family living in there. I don't know how long that washing's been in there, but it's like, Jesus, hello, is anyone in there? So that needs to go on a washing basket, which is also full. Okay, there's another one there, but that's even more full. Oh, what should I do with this washing? Oh, God, what should I do? Should I put it back in the washing machine? Oh, fuck it, should I put it in the bin? I'm never gonna fit into that t-shirt again, am I? I'm eating Krispy Kremes every day. I know. I'll put it on our bed where all the future admin lives. Just... Our bed always looks like Oxfam's just taking a shite on it. It's just this mountain of disappointment just pouring on there. Go back downstairs. I'm getting the tea bag out of the cup to put in the bin, but the bin is, guess what? Full. Like, talking at me full. Like, you know when you pat it down? I've been doing that for about 4 days, so it's just... like, that needs to go in the outdoor bin. Get this bin bag out. Bin juice everywhere. Just, the kids are coming in and slipping on it and like, get out the bin juice. It's not Disneyland. Get to our outdoor bin, but our outdoor bin is, guess what? Full. Yeah, it looks like a Turner Prize entry. It's just a ridiculous thing. So I think, balls to it, it's going dark. Next door's bin. I'll sneak it in there. They'll never see it. Come on. Like a homeless ninja. I pick up one bag so I can put my bag underneath and they'll never see it. But they hear rustling outside, open the door, and they go, Sam, what the bloody hell are you doing? I say, I'm just trying to make a cup of tea, okay? And if I could get a hug, please. Feeling very vulnerable right now. So I always talk to my wife, you know, we always discuss stuff, and through looking at the way my wife deals with stuff, and my mum as well, I'm under no illusions that women are the stronger sex, right? And because I don't mean physically, I mean there's something like internal that a woman's got, which is just, I'm gonna get stuff done and just get to the end. And like some men, like I've said this, and men go, oh, well, you know, she might look after the kids, but I bring home the bacon, don't I? I go out and work. I was like, yeah, which is the easier? You know, if you said to me, you can either do a double shift on a dangerous building site with no protective headgear in minus 10 degrees, or you can spend an afternoon at home with a 3-year-old who hasn't napped, I'd be like, hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to work we go. Because every year on TV, they put that show on, don't they, in January, The World's Strongest Man. And that's a tired format, just update it. World's Strongest Mum, I would watch the shit out of that programme. I'm sick of seeing Olaf from Sweden pulling a truck with a rope. We've seen that before, haven't we? Don't want to see that anymore. Give me Debbie from Derby, 7 months pregnant, deadlifting a shitting toddler over a baby gate while she breastfeeds and makes a dental appointment. That is a woman. That is a woman. What's next? Oh, it's Sven from Sweden pushing a wheelbarrow full of bricks up a hill. Oh, well done, Sven. I haven't seen that before. Look, here's Janine from Bootle pushing an Aldi Big Shop in a triple buggy. Up a hill. With a puncture. It's much better, because, you know, I think we all suffer from this as well. Like, because none of us ever focus on the things we do well as a parent. You just focus on the negative. Like, you think, oh, I didn't do that, or I should have done that. And actually, we're doing a lot of good stuff. But the thing is, I know I am not the best dad in the world. I know that, despite what me socks say. You know, I'm just... It's a lot of pressure to put yourself under, isn't it, when you're just choosing things to put on your feet? Just, I've got to be the best daddy of all time in the history of the universe today. Like, don't give me that. Give me a slogan I can live up to. Best dad in my postcode. I'm like, I can do that. I can be that. I can live that dream. I can do that. Because, you know, I just, as a dad, I think this is certainly the lot of the dads, is that, you know, in terms of pecking order, I am bottom in our house. Like, my kids, they love me wife. They adore me wife. They're besotted by her, and they quite like me. You know, they like me, and that's fine. I'm used to that now. But like, they love her. I mean, sometimes they scream for her, and I go in and they scream louder. Mummy, mummy, mummy! No, you're not what we ordered. It's like the booked Elvis and Shakin' Stevens has turned up. That's what it feels like. And I know. I used to be my wife's favourite person. And then the kids are born, and they're quite rightly her favourite people. My kid's favourite person is my wife. I used to be my mum and dad's favourite person. Their favourite people now are my kids. So out of every single human being on this planet, I am statistically nobody's favourite person. Nobody. Like, yeah, this is ridiculous, isn't it? I got a hoodie last year that says nobody's favourite person on it. It's a terrible Valentine's Day gift, but... We've got a song they sing, it's nobody's favourite person, it's Daddy, it's Daddy. I'm like, oh, thanks for that boost in self-esteem, everybody. I'll go and clean the toilet, shall I? That's what you do when you're nobody's favourite person. You clean toilets, and I'm just scrubbing away on my hands and knees. And my lad's in bed, and he shouts, Daddy, and his tone of voice suggests that he's going to say something quite cute. He says, Daddy. I said, yes, son. He says, Daddy, I love Mummy more than I love you. I said, thanks, son. He said, you're welcome. Just do me a service. Just let me know I am bottom of the league, and nobody thinks I'm the favourite person, but you get on with that, because you just got to focus on the positives, haven't you, really? What are you doing well? Like, none of us do that. And, as a dad, I'm looking at my benchmarks that I've set for my kids, independence, manners. We're in a lift, packed lift, and one of the boys trumps. And I said, someone's trumped. Who trumped? And they were both going like that, and then this old woman behind me said, I'm really sorry, it was me. What'd you say to that? I just said, it smells lovely. It really does. Cabbages suit you. They do. You should eat them every day. It's quite pleasant. And I don't know if this makes me a good parent or a bad parent, but I know the amount of U-turns I have made since I became a dad compared to the things I used to say. It's just unbelievable. Like, some of the things I used to say in my 20s, just like, I used to say, pre-kids, if I ever have kids, I am never going to lie to them. Imagine never lying to your kids. Imagine them telling them the truth. You'd ruin them, wouldn't you? Daddy, where does Father Christmas live? He lives here. It's me, innit? It's me. It's been me all along. So, and I'm also the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. So, the bogeyman, that's your mother. But I'm all the good ones. You got to bullshit your way through it, haven't you? Like, so my son says to me, when I grow up, I want to be a mummy or a daddy. And I said, you can be whatever you want. He said, all right, I'll be a daddy. And he said, Daddy, when I grow up and I become a daddy, will you become a mummy? I said, no, that's not how it works. No, when you become a daddy, I will become a granddad. And he said, oh. And when I become a granddad, will you become a grandma? I said, no. When you become a granddad, I will be long dead. So, see you in the morning, son. Don't have nightmares. And you don't realise, with a toddler, you drop a little nugget and it's just all these questions appear, questions that you're not equipped to answer. He says, what's death? I was like, what's death? Imagine telling your kids the truth about death when they're 3. Well, death is inevitable because life is temporary. So, do you want to do some colouring in now? Or... I just thought, I'm going to bullshit. I said, right, when we die, we all go to heaven. So you don't need to worry about that. We go to heaven. See you later. He said, what's heaven? I was like, heaven is a party in the clouds where you can do whatever you want. There's no rules. You can eat sweets all day. And Mr. Tumble is on 24/7. He said, it sounds a bit like grandma's. I said, it's exactly like grandma's. Without the smell. So... Because I love my mum and dad. They live 20 minutes away, which is not too close and not too far away. It's a good distance. And I'm aware we're lucky that not everyone's had that situation where they will watch the kids sometimes. However, sometimes you get your kids back from the grandparents and you look at your kid and you go, that's not my kid. What have you done? He looks the same, but the wiring's been tampered with and the kid's just looking at you going, I may appear to be a little bit different today, Father. You see, I've been eating sugar since 9:30 a.m. So I'm feeling a little bit feral right now. So no, I won't sit down. Screw you. I'm going to climb the furniture like a mountain goat. I'm going to do so much damage, I'll take value off this property. You know what I had for my lunch today, Father? Jaffa cakes. Watched down by fruit shoot after fruit shoot after fruit shoot, all the colours of the rainbow, while me and Grandad watch RoboCop 2 together. So I'm filled with E-numbers and violent thoughts right now. In a moment, I'm going to force you to play a game with me that has vague and confusing rules. And every time you get it slightly wrong, I'm going to scream at you, even though I don't know the rules myself, because I'm making this shit up on the spot, and it's the worst game in the history of games. And then I'm going to call you by your first name, and that's going to make you feel sad. Oh. Then I'm going to tell you I love Grandma more than I love you, because she bows to my every whim, and you have your fascist rules we must abide by. You think this can't get any worse, don't you, Father? But it's going to get a lot worse for you in about 4, when all the sugar will violently leave my system, leaving me hollow, broken, and angry at nobody else but you. And I'm going to scream at you and shout, and then I'm going to demand a hug, and you're going to give me one because you are weak and pathetic. And then I'm going to tell you what Grandma told me as I left her house this afternoon. She said, tell your father that's for shitting on my sofa when he was 4. You know, the other thing I said I would never do before my kids were born, I said, I will never, ever judge other parents. It's impossible, isn't it? We all judge. That's just what we do as humans. You judge, you know, whether you choose to vocalise that or keep it to yourself. That probably defines who you are as a person. But we all judge internally. And we all judge on snapshots, don't we? We'll see a video, we'll see a picture, we'll see 20 seconds on a bus, and you just make a judgment. You don't know what the previous 48 hours have been like. The certain snapshot to me, if you would have seen, you would have thought, he needs his kids taken off him. But if I explained to you what the last 2 days have been like, you would have been like, oh, I'm sorry, mate, I can see why the only option was to give them Red Bull at midnight. I'm sorry, you're the best dad in the world. Get them socks back on, mate. Enjoy them, you know. Because I'm a big fan of breastfeeding. Big fan. Fan's the wrong word, isn't it? I'm not like, I don't have a big foam finger. You know, latch on, latch on, latch on. I don't shout encouragement. I don't mean that. What I mean is I'm a supporter. I think that's the wrong word as well. I'm an advocate. Maybe that's the right word. I don't know. What I mean is I think it's a woman's choice if she breastfeeds or not. It's a woman's choice where, when, and also how old the child is when she stops breastfeeding. Sometimes these kids look a little bit on the older side, but that's not for us to choose, is it? But your face gives you it away. I'm on a train, packed train, woman gets on. I saw she was breastfeeding, instantly looked away, but she clocked me. She just went, excuse me, yeah, you with the glasses. Saw the way you looked at me then. Listen, this is my child, this is my body, this is my decision. I said, I know it is, love, but he was in my year at school. So, you all right, Dave? How's it going, mate? You okay? Fancy a pint sometime? Does anyone remember that story that came out of America about 11 years ago about a child who was 3 who went to the zoo with his mum and dad and he fell into the gorilla enclosure? Does anyone remember that? Yeah? I read that at the time, pre-kids, and just went, how could a parent allow their child to fall into a gorilla enclosure? And then your kid hits 3 and you go, I'm surprised most kids haven't fallen in at least one gorilla enclosure. I'm surprised gorilla enclosures aren't full of toddlers with just poor gorilla at the back going, get these fuckers away from me. Get your willy out my ear, it's not massive, shut up! So what we do as parents, we have these coping strategies, which is often what people are judging you on. Coping strategies that work for you, work for your child, and if they work, you keep doing them. Now, if I told you what my coping strategies are, you'd probably think I'm a weirdo. I'm sure you've got some of your own, which I would also think you were a weirdo. But like, if they work, you've got to do them. This is what I do with my kids. So one of them is called Mr. Robot. So when they're getting annoyed, I talk and act like a robot, and it calms them down. It's okay. Mr. Robot is here. And they go, yeah. And then they teach me something about the world. I say, what can you teach me today? And they go, we're going to teach you about the sun. Oh, what's the sun? It's a big burning ball of fire in the sky. Oh, that's awesome. It's shit, but it's like a bad episode of Star Trek, but it works, so we just keep doing it. And I had to take them to Aldi for the big shop, and that's a terrible day out for a couple of 3-year-olds. So they got very angry. I said, it's okay, Mr. Robot will take you. And they went, yay! I thought it was a 15-minute drive, they'll never remember. And we got to Aldi, and they clearly remembered. Pushing the trolley, we need some marmalade. You said you talk like a robot. Oh, God. We need some marmalade. And I saw someone I know, and I thought, well, I can't stop talking like a robot because it might cause an international incident. But I can't keep talking like a robot because I'm 41 and I'm in Aldi. So I thought I'll just tone it down a little bit. I went, hello, Gary, how are you? I said, have you had a stroke, Sam? What's up? No, I'm a robot. He said, I'm a robot too. What the fuck's going on? At the beginning of the apocalypse. And the other ones are earlobes. So like one of them is the on switch and the off switch. So it doesn't work every time, but I tickle his ear and it switches him on and it switches him off. And, that's fine, but then they'll throw it back at you in situations when it's not appropriate. We're in a communal swimming baths changing room, and he just comes running through, stark bollock naked, just going, Daddy, 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 come and turn me on. Oh, God, just put your trousers on, for God's sake. I can hear police sirens. The other one is happy button. That's what we call it. It's happy button. So I tickle his earlobe, and it sort of doesn't work every time, but it's happy buttons. He said, Daddy, have you got a happy button? I said, I have, but Mummy doesn't touch it anymore, so. And I can never find it. I'm sure she keeps moving it, to be honest, but. So my wife's still on at me. Come on, let's just talk about one more. Let's just think about one more. And I'm saying, let's talk about it, after the boys have turned 4. They're about to be 4 years old, starting school just after that, and it's a big day and lots of things going on. So we start asking the kids, what do you want to do for your birthday? What do you want at your party? They say, we want a bouncy castle, we want balloon sculptures, we want a magician, and we start looking online at all these options, and we spend that long faffing about. When it comes time to book a venue, there's none left, except this one, which is this dilapidated old community centre with bits falling off it. There's no entertainment we can get on that day either, so we end up with this 68-year-old magician called DJ Rice Pudding. Wears this glittery suit and looks like he hasn't been DBS checked in a very long time. I'm going to be watching you very closely, my friends. So he comes and sets his gear up, and, we've got some sandwiches and drinks, and all the kids start arriving with the parents, and then all the parents start leaving. And I'm like saying to my wife, what's going on, why are they leaving? She said, well, I said on the invite they could drop and leave. I said, why did you say that? If you said that to me, I'd go on a gap year for 12 months. I'd be working behind a bar in Melbourne or something. So they're all, I say to the kids, right, the toilet's there, the drinks are there, there's food, help yourself to fruit shoots. Just a nonchalant comment, help yourself to fruit shoots. Never say that to a load of toddlers. They're just going to, just demolish it. Just went in and one kid had about 6 in about 8 minutes, and he just went bananas. I've never seen anything like it. He was like an adult on PCP. He was just impervious to pain. He was just thrashing around, and he just fell on the floor, jumped up, puked up, laughed, kicked the fridge, and ran away. And I was like, someone keep an eye on him, because I'm a bit worried about him. And my wife said that thing that loads of women say, oh, can you clean that sick up? Because I'm not very good with sick. It's like, who is? Who's good with sick? Oh, have you met my mate Steve? He's fantastic with diarrhea. He's one of the best in the business. If you've got the shit, I'll give you his card. He's on LinkedIn. He's amazing. Amazing. So I cleaned the sick up and then went back on the dance floor, and DJ Rice Pudding's on the 1s and 2s, playing the tunes. We're all dancing around. I picked one of my boys up to give him the bumps, and I got to 3, and he was about there, and he did a fart that I've never experienced before. It was like an emotional journey, this fart. It was louder than the music, and also it sounded like an audio version of an exclamation mark, if I can, because it went like this. If you pooed your pants. No. Should we go and check? He said, probably for the best. Yeah, probably for the best. So we went into this toilet, locked the door, this little pokey little room, pulled his pants down. I don't know what he'd been doing in his pants. I think he'd opened a turd factory, because there was poo of all different types. Wet poo, dry poo, stuff that was set. It looks like he was trying to make a mould of his arse. It was just, there was some fluff from his underpants. Looked like he'd gone through puberty. It was like, what are you supposed to do when your child soils themselves? You're supposed to say, it's okay, accidents happen, but when there's a jobby there, he's like, ah! See the face of God in that? So I'm picking it off, and he's going, ow, 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 ow. And there's a knock on the door. It's my other lads, because twins' bowels are often synced up. So he comes in, and he needs a poo, so he sits on the toilet and starts squeezing one out. Then there's another knock on the door. It's like, this is turning into a 2 Ronnie sketch. Like, what is happening? I said, can you slow down? We're just having a family emergency. And this little voice says, can I come in, please? I say, just give us 2 minutes. I need a poo. Can you hold it in? No! He's not messing about, this kid. So I open the door. This random 3-year-old comes in. There's a little potty under the sink. So I put that down, put him on the potty, and he just angrily squeezes one out and eyeballs me the whole time. You can't look away, can you? I was just like, oh God, I'm locked in. The tractor beam, and then he finishes. He goes, and says to me, can you wipe my bottom? I'm sorry, mate, I don't even know who you are. Have you got any ID? What's your name? Where's your mummy and daddy? I'll go and get them. He said, they've gone. I was like, oh, God, no. I tell you what, boys, you're starting school soon. You need to learn how to wipe bums. Do you want to practice on this random kid? No, I'll shout encouragement from over here. It'll be fine, yeah? No? Okay, I'm going in. So I rolled my sleeves up and I got ready. With the first wipe, my finger went through the toilet paper. Which is disgusting. But also, broke any trust me in this kid we're building. Because now he's anticipating that to happen every time. So every time I wipe his bum, he's tentatively moving away. I'm just moving away. And I'm chasing him. It's like we're doing madness across the floor. And then he opens the door and just starts running across the dance floor. Someone stop that kid! My wife goes after the kid. My lad with the dry poo on his bum comes out with his pants around his ankles like a shitty penguin. Just goes, Daddy, what's going on? Get back in the toilet, please! When I go back into the toilet, the one who's sitting on the bog, he stuck his hands in his socks, both socks, in the socks. And he just says, Daddy, can you do this? And just starts to fall forward. And his arse goes right in the air and it all goes into slow motion as I dive towards him and I grab him and his arse just grazes my shoulder, just like that. And it's only a little bit, but it's a skiddy and it's on my shoulder, looks like an epaulet. My wife comes back in with the random kid. There's just shit and arses everywhere. And we have this horrible moment where our eyes make contact in the mirror and she just says to me, I think 2 kids is enough, don't you? I say, yes. Yes, it is. So then we go back on the dance floor and we have a great time. It's brilliant. We have a great party. DJ Rex Pudding is absolutely brilliant. On the 1s and 2s, does some games with the kids. Everyone's dancing. Our boys have the best birthday. And we're packing stuff away. We put them in the car seats and we go home. And for the first time in about a year, they fall asleep in the car because they've stopped doing that. And so I've got to pick them out and put them to bed. And it's the first time I've done it in so long. Forget how heavy they are and how awkward it is to do this. And they're just so big and grown up. And I put them into the bed. A couple of 4-year-olds in bed. And I'm thinking, my boys, my babies, they're growing up. They're not toddlers anymore. They're children. You know, and that first day of school just rushes up, doesn't it? Where you just, you know, they're so smart, they're in the uniforms, ready for school. You know, I'm just holding it together. You know, they're ready for the big adventure. The first adventure they're going on without me by the side. They've got to do this on their own. I've been there through every step of the way, but this is something they've just got to go on their own, go the separate way. And I take them to the gates, kiss them on the forehead, tell them I love them, and watch them just walk off. And I think it's all right, because they'll still need me. You know, I'll get a wave or they'll need a hug, and they just walk off and disappear into the school. And I've just stood there going, oh, like that, holding on for dear life. That independence that was desperate for them to have is the same thing that just completely crushed me. And that old man was right. You'll miss this one day. I missed it already. That magical phase had gone. And I went home to this empty, quiet house, which is all I'd ever really wanted, but I just felt so empty. Like, just as empty as the pit in my stomach and my heart, and matched only by the pride I felt for me 2 boys going off into school. And when I look back on that toddler phase, like, we'd had some moments, me and my boys, we'd had more moments than I can care to remember, pure and total Toddlergeddon. But when I look back on that phase, what am I going to remember? Am I going to remember all the tantrums and the shouting and the screaming and the illogical arguments? I'm not going to remember any of that. All I'm going to remember is the smiles, the laughs, the hugs, and the love. Thank you so much for coming to my show. You've been a wonderful audience. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.